Good afternoon, everybody. This is Real Estate 411 on WJR. This is Paul Compo, my wife Annette Compo.
Yay, I'm here.
And we have with us today, again, a fantastic individual who's migrated his way into our lives with Real Estate 411. And he's been working in his industry for a long time, but now he's here with us again. This is Jamie Nummer and the Nummer team he has behind him. But, of course, metaphorically speaking today, it's Jamie in the house with myself and Annette.
Hey
How
guys.
you doing?
Thanks for having me on again.
You bet.
Jamie, how long have you been in the mortgage industry?
Just about 13 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking I knew it was a lot. I wasn't just real specific on the number, if it was a single digit or a double digit.
A long time.
Yeah, double digits is usually a long time. So good stuff going on in the market. I know there's been a lot of conversation, obviously, about the interest rate. It's kind of steading firm right where it has been. We like where it's at, the 30-year at 4.10, the 15-year at 3.25. I mean, Jamie, just seeing that difference between a 30 and a 15, that's pretty powerful.
It is very powerful. There's a big drop between the 15 and the 30 when you get to the lower amortization. Are
you noticing that people are looking at the 15 as a viable option for them when refinancing?
If it's doable in their payments and that kind of thing, with rates being as low as they are, a lot of people are taking advantage of the low rates on the longer amortization to keep that payment low in case they get in trouble, and then they can always make that 15-year payment.
That extra payment,
yeah.
Right?
You like to say that word amortization many times, don't you?
See how it rolls off the tongue.
Yes.
FHA closed out at 3.75, the jumbo at 30-year fixed at 3.94, and the 5 and 1 year adjustable arm at 3.24. Many of our loyal listeners that have been listening throughout the years with us know that I watch mortgagenewsdaily.com, so if you want to follow those numbers with me every single week, we also trend them out for 52 weeks. And once again, just taking a little snapshot of, let's just pick the 15 years since we kind of made that part of the conversation in the beginning of the show. It's 3.25. I actually marked a lower level parameter on the 52-week spread. So 3.25 is the lowest number it's ever been in 52 weeks, with the highest being 3.90. So, Jamie, that is such a small scale from 3.25 to 3.90 for a 52-week spread. What does that tell us?
Great question.
There's a lot of them around here. Nothing like putting them on the spot. Let's give them a couple more minutes to answer that lengthy question of yours.
Well, this is reality radio.
It is.
And let me just say this, because this is what gets me excited as well. Now, looking at the 30-year, the low is 4.08, and the high was 4.85. We closed out on Friday from mortgagenewsdaily.com at 4.10. Once again, not the lowest, but very small difference between the lowest and the 52-week spread. And honestly, Jamie, being the real estate broker that I am, I try not to guess the mortgage industry, but I'm assuming, based on the stats that I run on the interest rates, is that even though we're seeing homes increase in value, we also see a lot of uncertainty at the congressional level of what they're going to do, because I don't think that they believe that the housing market really is at the stable mark where they can start moving that needle in the direction without affecting buyer confidence, seller confidence, or just overall consumer confidence. So what are your thoughts on that?
The market is moving, but it isn't moving as much as everybody wants it to, and as quickly as it wants to. And then you have the variables of the new home construction, the housing starts, and existing home sales. And while existing home sales are pushing those up, the new home construction will kind of bring it back down a little bit because it's providing more inventory, more supply into the market. So the one thing that I always say to clients when they ask me, are rates going to go up, they're going to go down? They're going to do both over the next 52 weeks.
They're going to be consistent, going up and going down. And that's one of the conversations that we always have as being in the industry veterans that we are, is we've seen markets where we would have given anything for 5%.
Not so long ago either.
Yeah, and that wasn't that long ago. And so no matter what, if you're out there and you're thinking about refinancing, or just the questions popped up, the biggest thing is to do your due diligence, to figure out what options are out there, what products are out there, and then allow Jamie and his team to ask you those questions about your short-term goals and your long-term goals, because that's going to determine what type of product. So if you're only going to stay in the home, the next 2 or 3 years, or a question that's been coming up a lot lately is that, do I refinance when I'm looking for a job outside of Michigan? I don't know.
Depends on if there's a financial benefit to doing it.
You have to look. You have to look at all the numbers. It's a great question, and that's a really a reality question for many people out there that are looking at possible job moves. Changing of the family cycle. People going to college, that empty nest, and so all those questions kind of come into play. But
Relocation.
Absolutely. So my topic I wanted to talk about first off out of the chute today is that renters that are thinking about buying. Now, Jamie, there's been a huge push with MSHDA out there for the $7,500 tax credit for first-time home buyers.
Right.
We know that's been a great program. It hasn't been, the kitty hasn't been filled up as large as we would like to in the past, but now it has, and they're continuing MSHDAs to promote that program. How are you finding the transactions? Are they pretty easy to get through as for first-time home buyers?
Well, you have to be organized. You have to have your paperwork together and have it all submitted as one nice, clean package. And of course, you have to be a first-time home buyer and all of those things. So it's really the same. The government is our business is steeped with government regulation. So it's about the same as everything else, making an application for a mortgage.
And one particular individual's application process and the way that person puts their paperwork together may seem to them like it's in order, but then they're going to find out when they go through the mortgage process what actually is going to be told to them and what's in order and what's not in order, because it's all about the documents. I mean, you deal with a lot of paper, and we do too. The real estate industry is loaded with the paperwork, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and it's very important that everything is there.
What we're noticing as well is it's still out there in the real estate world, very competitive if you're a buyer. We know that houses are selling for more than what they're listed for if they're priced appropriately. So being prepared as a renter getting into the real estate market it was critical before, but now it really does make a difference in the regards to your success percentage. So having a solid loan pre-approval is absolutely almost mandatory before you even start looking, and understanding and knowing why that relationship is so critical before you even move into the home searching process. And of course, throughout the years, Jamie, it's always been known that we want to shop before we want to know how to pay for it.
Right.
And that's the unfortunate thing sometimes, that people don't realize the importance of putting that the pre-approval before the actual shopping.
So important, so absolutely important.
And for the pre-approval process in regards to your real estate, you can have that handled here at Real Estate 411, and anything else to do with your largest investment. This is Real Estate 411 on WJR, and the number to dial is 877-ANNETTE. That's 877-266-3883, and the website is realestate411now.com.